Well, good afternoon. We're here at the McKinnis House today. I am Sarah Fishel, and we're going to talk about violets. Violets are one of the first spring flowers that everything is totally edible. You can use the petals, you can use the leaves, and there's a lot of variety in what you can make with the violets. So today what I am making, I've got some fresh violets here, and I am making candied violets, violet omelet, and I'm going to even add some fresh mushrooms because morel mushrooms are up. And I'm also going to have a drink that's made out of the leaves from the violets. So first of all, we're going to cut off the violet and we are going to wash it. And then we are going to let it kind of dry just a little bit. And I'm going to put this one over here because I've already dried a few. Once they are dried, you're going to take an egg white and you're going to stir it just a little bit, whip it up, and you're going to dip your violets in the egg white. Once you've dipped them in the egg white, you're going to then dip them in sugar and let them dry. It's one of the kids' favorite treats. They're so sweet and they're so good and they're full of vitamin C. But don't tell the kids that because kids don't really want to eat their vitamins. So we're going to dip this violet in the egg white just to get it wet. And then we're going to dip it in white sugar. And then we are going to lay it on a pan to dry. And usually it's better if you butter this pan so that they don't stick to it once they dry. And I'll do quite a few of these, mostly because the children can eat 20 of them without even stopping to take a breath. So there we are, we dipped it again. It's going back into the sugar. And you can see how crystal clear it is. It's really, really pretty. And as it dries, it almost looks like glass, but it tastes like sugar. So we'll put that on there to dry. And I've taken several leaves and I've washed them, and then I've poured water over them, and I'm letting them simmer for about an hour. It's almost like simmering your spring spinach, and it gives you another drink that is full of vitamin C and vitamin A, and something that kids can enjoy. I also want to make an omelet. Violets are really good in omelets, so you'll wash and dry some leaves and some blossoms, and you'll add those to your eggs. The children also brought in some mushrooms. Now these are morel mushrooms, and these are your edible morel mushrooms. Not all morels are edible. This one is a false morel. The false morel has a brain shape to it. It is very, very toxic, so you do not want to use that for anything other than being maybe a pretty dried table setting. And I have chicken eggs and duck eggs today because the ducks are laying, it's springtime, and the chickens are laying, and so we have lots of eggs that we can use. So I'm just going to crack them in here. Trying not to put any eggshells in there. If a few eggshells end up, just a little more calcium. Not a big deal. And once again, my chicken eggs, the white is kind of yellowish, and the white of the duck egg is very clear. And the shell on the duck egg is a lot harder. So that ought to be about enough. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of milk to it. That gives it a little fluff. And then I'm going to stir it together. Get all my yolks worked in. And because these are free-range ducks and free-range chickens, the yolks are very, very orange. Now we're going to add a little bit of salt. Get these all mixed up really good. See how orange that's turning? Now we're going to add a little bit of bacon. We're going to add some of our violet leaves. I'm going to break these up just a little bit. Gives you that vitamin C and that vitamin A. Stick a few violets in there. Isn't that pretty? Looks nice and yummy. Put those in there. Add the rest of them. Then we're going to cut up one of our morel mushrooms. Now when these come in, I usually soak them in salt water to get all the little insects out of it. Once they're soaked in salt water, you can just slice them in half. You can dip them in eggs and milk and then flour and just fry them, or you can add them to the omelet, and I'm adding them to the omelet today. It'll give a little more texture, a little bit more vitamins, and just be really, really yummy. Oops, one flew away. Put him back in there. I'm going to stir this up again. Get all of our ingredients in there, and it'll be ready to go into the skillet. So there we go. So I'm going to move my butter around a little bit in here so it's, and in the skillet we go. And this will make a tasty lunch for the entire family when they come in from doing their chores. They'll have a very, very nutritious lunch. There we go. As that starts to cook, we'll just stir it around and till our stove is hot. See how pretty violets, how much color it gives it. We'll just let it set for a second and start to cook on the bottom, and then once it's cooked on the bottom, we'll flip it over and finish it on the top, and it'll be ready to eat. Enjoy your violets.